put a resistor and a capacitor in series with a DC power supply. Example 5 volts, it's a constant, okay, connected to a resistor and a capacitor. Now, the capacitor needs some time to charge and some time to discharge, and this time is called 5 tau. What happens during 1 tau? Okay, during 1 tau it will be like 63% to charge, and if you disconnect the capacitor from the battery, it will discharge in 1 tau 63% of its maximum value. Let's see the calculation. To write down the differential equation, okay, you use UPN equals UPA يعني U of the resistor plus UAN اللي هي U of the capacitor. Okay, U of the resistor هي R times I plus U of the capacitor, I will write it UC. UPN I will call it E اللي هي maximum voltage. this differential equation has two variables, the I and UC. And you need to unify the variables. It's whether a differential equation in I or in UC. Okay, حأترك I كنا بنعرف إنه هي Q prime. Okay, with Q, the charge is C times U. Okay, of the capacitor. So there is a relation between the Q and U of the capacitor. Should derivative of Q هي capacitance times U prime C. So بتصير R, C is a constant, so I'm going to اكتبها capital C, times derivative of UC with respect to time. Okay? لأنه now we can say that it is a differential equation in UC. The solution تبعيتها is UC equals E max, okay, 1 minus exponential minus T over tau. The step from here to here, it is a mathematical step. We give you the solution. What happens if you replace the time by tau? بتحطوا على الكالكوليتر exponential minus 1 لأنه tau بالنيميريتور والدينومينيتور بيطلع لكم 63% of E. هيدا while charging the capacitor. And when you discharge, يعني again, you remove the battery, so صار عندكم as if a resistor والcapacitor لحالهم and you remove the battery. Once it is charged, now it will discharge in the resistor its energy. So حيصير عندي UPN صارت زيرو لأنه راحت الباتري and بتحطوا الكونكتنج واير. وهون عندي A. So UPN now is 0. Okay, equal UPA plus UAN. يعني U of the resistor plus U of the capacitor. Again, ما رح يتغير شيء من ال reasoning هون. So final answer will be the same اللي هي RC DUC over DT plus UC. هيدي the differential equation is different from that one. The solution تبعها كمان for mathematical reasons is UC equals E دغري exponential minus T over tau. Okay, ما في 1 minus. Okay, هيدي بالdischarge and this one is decreasing. يعني after 1 tau, if you replace the T your variable by 1 tau, you will see that UC is so هيدي بتطلع 37% of E. Okay, هي ال 1 إذا بدكم عكس 63% لأنه هيدي remaining UC يعني هي قشطت from 100% to 37 يعني the difference is 63% بس remaining هي 37% E. الإكسبوننشال هي mathematical function وهي أسرع function بالماث شغلتها إنه تغير بسرعة. اوكي سو هون between time 0 على time 0 كانت اليو سي اي. اوكي after 1 tau صارت اليو سي 37% of E. يعني قشطت الفاريشن هي 63%. اوكي لأنه اليو سي is very fast. Exponential is a very fast function. Now after 5 tau if you replace T by 5 tau بتلاقوا انه اليو سي after 5 tau هي E exponential minus 5 tau over tau تاو تاو بيروحوا so approximately 0. بينما هون after 5 تاو بتكون شغلت completely بتصير E exponential 1 بلا 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 approximately E يعني 100% of E. So after 5 تاو يا اما بيعبي على الاخر الكاباسيتور يا اما بفضل على الاخر الكاباسيتور. Now let's see that experiment. Theoretically and for mathematical reasons tau equals RC لأنه when you solve the differential equation to get the solution you can find that tau is equal to RC. هلا tau is time يعني اليونت تبعه is seconds, resistor is the resistance in ohm والcapacitance هي انفراد. To have some seconds that human can measure اوكي حننقي الار والسي كتير كبار لدرجة انه التاو تطلع 10 seconds for example. Okay, so here we have some capacitors. For example, this one is مكتوب عليهم لازم. Okay, 100 microfarad. Okay. Capacitors اللي هون هن 330 microfarad. Okay. So let's take these two values. واحدة 100 microfarad والثانية 330. Resistors. Okay, هون according to the colors, okay, we can find إنه أول وحدة 100 كيلو أوم 20 كيلو أوم. هلا we will make a circuit مثلا with the first resistor مع first capacitor, then first مع second وبيرجع هيدا الcombination اللي and each time you have to find the tau theoretically using the formula, and then we will try to measure the time using a chronometer experimentally, okay, to see how much time it needs to fully discharge or fully charge. تطلع 10 seconds. هلا 10 seconds for 1 tau. To check that experimentally, you have to wait until the U of the capacitor is 3.15 لأنه 63% of 5 volts. هون we set the power supply at 5 volts. Okay, so 63% of 4.9 تطلع around 3.15 volts. هذا الكاباسيتور وهذا الريزستور. Okay, الكاباسيتور at the beginning is very weak. Okay, it's around 0 volts. To follow in lifetime the change of UC, you can connect the terminals of the capacitor to the voltmeter. Now, you have the capacitor in series with the resistor, and the in تبع الكاباسيتور والout تبع الريزستور will be connected to the power supply. And we will wait how much time, okay, we need for the capacitor to go from 0 volts to 3.15 volts, okay? And at the same time that I branch my wires, okay, another student can press on the timer and we will stop the timer once the voltmeter shows 3.15 volts. And this is your tau experiment. 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, the voltmeter is increasing, and once we get 3.15, you stop the timer. Okay, it's around 13.50 seconds. هلا source of error is to synchronize the voltmeter with your هيدا experimental timer. And if you want to be more accurate, you can repeat it many times, or you can wait until you get the 5 volts, and you will get وقت بتنطروا to get the 5 volts يعني you are waiting to reach 5 tau. Okay. هلا sure if you wait 5 tau رح يطلع لكم 50 seconds for example, and then you divide it by 5 to find 1 tau. كمان حترجعوا على 10 seconds مثل قبل، بس الفرق instead of waiting to reach 3.15 volts اللي هي 63% of E لل 1 tau, you have to wait 5 tau to reach 5 volts fully إذا بدكم charged أو U is max. Now, if you want to discharge your capacitor, well, first you have to fully charge it. بدكم إياه يوصل على 5 فولت initially, and then you will start to discharge your capacitor. And the timer should go from 5, it would be set على 5 volts ببلش 0, okay, and then the time would run to reach 63% of change. It would drop 3.15 volts, يعني رح يوصل على 1.85 volts. And time of charge is TC is equal to time of discharge TD, واثنيناتهم experimentally will notice إنه both of them are equals to tau. يعني بده وقت تيشرج قد ما بده وقت تا يفضي. هلا you can choose, it's whether you wait 1 tau أو 5 tau. اثنيناتهم صح. بس if you want to think about it, ال 5 tau الerror بتصير أقل لأنه you are waiting from 0 to 5 volts. بس بتاخد it takes more time and maybe you don't want to wait that long 5 tau يعني 50 seconds for example. أكيد أهين أعمل experiment in 10 seconds but the error can be greater. okay, the precision بتصير أقل.